The new Sunbreak Castle map, the new Sunbreak Snowy map, are the same map. Hello, my fellow hunters. Welcome, one and all. For today, well, thanks to a fairly recent little bit of information on Sunbreak teased by the Japanese Monster Hunter Rise Twitter, I think we're being, let's say, thrown off the scent. Wait, that's a mouth, not a nose. Okay. Look, it's the closest thing, alright? I think we might be getting set up for a right bamboozle. And as I alluded to at the beginning, well, I think that new maps might very well just be new map, but in a way that is not so much disappointing, but actually really quite exciting. So what am I talking about? Well, you remember this lovely location? Yes, the Guiding Lands, an eclectic cavalcade of environments mashed together and forced to get along, and all the monsters that they bring with them interacting in ways we've never seen before. A land of scorching deserts, a land of freezing fjords, a land of lava and luscious trees, a land of decay and a land of coral, all right next door to each other. Seemingly impossible, but there it is, overflowing with bioenergy, life, and conflict. That's still one of the coolest cinematics we've ever got in all of Monster Hunter, seriously. So why do I think all this? Why do I think that basically, well, in Monster Hunter Sunbreak, we are going to get just one new map, and that map is going to have multiple distinct biomes that bring together otherwise quite distinctly different monsters. That is my prediction. That is a kind of gut feeling, or at least a way of interpreting the following information that we got given. Also, at this point, I want to ask early on, so you can get to be typing those comments, did you like the Guiding Lands? Would you like to actually see it come back? I would be very curious as to those responses. And also, if you could like the video, it helps us a lot. Obviously, only if you do like it. I realize it's me talking, so you probably don't, but maybe throw me a bone. And subscribe, hit the bell for more so you don't miss lots more Sunbreaky goodness. And if you really like what we do, please consider supporting us on Patreon down below. No matter what you do, no matter how much, it helps more than you know, and it's the reason we're still here, and it is appreciated beyond words. It seriously is. Thank you. So, without further ado, let's actually look at what's going on here. So we got this tweet. So, if you give it a quick read. I really wish I could speak and read and understand Japanese. I wasted my time being fluent in Spanish when I should have gone for Japanese. So, in any case, what it says then is, the new map that appears in the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak teaser is a mixture of terrain with different elements. In addition to places like the castle ruins, there are monsters who inhabit each different area. So, I mean, I feel like I'm not even really stretching here, right? Let's really focus on that. This map will be a mixture of terrain with different elements with monsters who inhabit each area. That is pretty Guiding Landsy to me, and that's actually kind of exciting. And you know what? it makes sense. It really does. Firstly, if we're gonna go with, wow, why would they immediately do a Guiding Land type thing again? Well, I don't think it will work like the Guiding Lands. I don't think it will be an endgame system built around a map specifically. I think it will just be the map of Sunbreak, the new map, a map that we do a lot of story on, fight a lot of monsters on, but I don't think it will be the foundation of the endgame per se. I think it will just be, for the first time, a non-endgame multi-biome map. We've also had the Everwood before, so it's not like we haven't had multiple, multi-biome maps actually be part of a Monster Hunter game, but in the terms of Everwood and Guiding Lands, again, they were endgame, so doing it more early on, doing it more of a base part of the expansion, would certainly be a little bit different. I also don't think it will be exceedingly extreme. I doubt we're going to go from torrents of lava all the way over to freezing ice, but I think it will be at least distinctly different in sense of we'll have like barren grassland, a castle zone, a frost zone, maybe a kind of dense wood zone, you know, stuff that kind of makes sense near each other but is distinctly different enough to, in other Monster Hunter games, get its own map completely built around it. When we actually look at the island of Sunbreak in the latest Lunagaron, I really need to stop doing that. Teaser, well, you can see it is an incredibly mountainous land covered in those coniferous trees, and I could totally see a slice of that land, a map based on that land, having quite the variety of environments, because it makes sense if we're just getting one map on this new island to actually give it that variety. I think it can totally pull it off. And if we look at the actual main picture of this magnificent castle, and I cannot wait for a castle like this to just be one of the zones in a normal map. That's so cool. You can see the types of trees we can see on the island teaser, and in the back left, I mean, I'll be honest with you, that mountainous area, if we imagine that keeps going, I could totally see that turning into, well, into Lunagaron's area, which again, in the previous video that I talked about, it really does not match anywhere on the Frost Island. Believe me, I've walked around it for hours trying to find a match, and it just doesn't. The mountains don't line up, the tree formations don't line up, it just isn't there. So this Frost area that Lunagaron is in is one of three things. It is the Frost Islands, and I'm a moron. It is a remake of an old map like the Tundra. It is an entirely new Frost map. But all three of those things don't make sense. They've never just extended an existing map in that sense. Obviously, we got little additions to the Guiding Lands themselves, actually, as, you know, we're talking about them. But in terms of a traditional map made a bit bigger, it'd just be, okay, we've got a new couple zones on the Frost Islands. All right, then. And it also wouldn't make sense to do another Frost map, right? Like, that's doubling up in an already limited space to work with, unless they're going to add a load of new maps, which just doesn't make sense for an expansion like this. And then if it's a remake of, again, Tundra, that also, firstly, is another Frost map, so it has the same double-up problems as a new Frost map, but also, I think there are other maps that we would rather see remake that give a more variety to the map roster than the Tundra. So hidden option 4 is it's simply a frosty area on a otherwise not completely frosty map on, well, the only map that is guaranteed, this new map that contains the castle ruins, which the tweet alludes to having a mixture of different terrains with different elements and different monsters for each of those areas. So all of this kind of comes together to say that I think there is a good chance that the new map in Sunbreak is, I mean, likely one of the most varied maps we have ever got in Monster Hunter. It's not an endgame vehicle like the Guiding Lands or the Everwood. It is simply just the choice that they have made to give us the most amount of variety packed into a single new map that will last the expansion from the very start of the story all the way to whatever happens at the end. And I think that's really cool. It also gives them a good opportunity to do monsters from various different locations, but still have them populate the same one map, instead of having to stick to a general theme like icy monsters on an ice map. And that is also a very, well, solid idea. So that essentially is my Guiding Lands in Sunbreak TED Talk, and I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Love to know your thoughts on this, your take. I know a lot of people have kind of seen this and gone, ooh, Guiding Lands E2, and it's definitely something worth talking about. In any case, like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and please consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below. It's what keeps us going, and it is immensely appreciated. Until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.